I realized that the street is Rio Ebro, in which some uncles lived for a few years. A street that I know well and where I can assure you that quite strange things happen. I, however, did not know the story of the girl, but I did have to witness things, let's say macabre, there. We used to visit my uncles about 3 or 4 times a year, and I always liked to go with them. I was very good with my cousin, who is practically my age. In those visits, from lunchtime and even before dinner, we used to spend it together. My cousin and I have always liked ghost stories a lot, but I didn't like her at all. So this wasn't a theme we used to play. On one of those visits, they sent us to the store for something I don't remember, just before it got dark. I was surprised that it is a quiet street, almost without traffic, which is completely opposite to the surrounding streets. I never saw other people outside, already in the afternoon. We walked down the bench, my cousin, always happy, always talking. At that moment I walked in complete silence, without saying anything, looking only towards the floor as I walked. I got a little distracted. When I passed a gate, I felt someone looking at me. I turned inside a door. There was a tall man, looking out, looking at me. I couldn't look at him with attention. It gave me a little fear, perhaps sadness. For some reason I couldn't hold his gaze. My cousin was already several meters ahead. He didn't get upset because I was going to stay behind. I asked him to wait for me and he hurried the step. He ran to get out of the street and turn around. I ran after her, but before I got to the corner, to finally get out of Rio Ebro, in the penultimate house, I saw the man in black again, in a coat and hat, standing in a specific place that hid his face in the shadows. I reached my cousin in the store. I wanted to tell her what I had just seen, but she didn't let me. She asked me not to say anything until I got home. I tried to joke with her, to distract her. We walked to another store to look for something we didn't find in the first one, and she relaxed a bit. When we returned, she no longer thought about what had just happened. About the man I saw. Somehow, he had come out of my head. We were almost back on the street, and there she was, in the corner, standing on the bench, watching us. My cousin was pale. We turned around and surrounded the whole apple at full speed to get to the house on the other side of the street. I remember that she ran and I couldn't follow her. Before entering her house, I could see him again. There he was, about 50 meters away, standing right in the middle of the street. I wanted to talk to my cousin about it, but she insisted on not mentioning it. From what I could understand, from what she said, she didn't believe in anything supernatural, and for her, this was just a mysterious man who caused her a lot of terror. I didn't know what to say. I don't think she's been my imagination. It was many years ago, but I tell it just as I remember it. I am sure I saw the man in different houses in a matter of seconds. I told my mother, who later told my aunt, but I no longer knew about it. The subject arose again until years later. Recently my uncles already live in another house, and sometime in one of these visits after dinner something led us to talk about when they lived in that department of Rio Ebro. I would be short of time to tell you the stories that my aunt told us about what led to talk with her neighbors. One of the reasons why she decided to move is because right in the house in front, in the window that was facing the kitchen window, there was a girl who always watched her in the evenings when my aunt was trying to prepare dinner, observing night after night with a strange and sinister smile. My aunt had a cold shoulder when she told us that. When she told one of the neighbors about this, she told him that the house in front of her was only inhabited by an elderly lady who could no longer walk. The supernatural stories along that path are common and, I repeat, it would take a long time to write them. There's so much more my aunt told us that night, but you'll understand if you manage to talk to the neighbors. I wish you could.